Alright, I'm gonna test mic. Yeah, it's using the right mic. Alright, let me just check on the stream because last time it started off being weird, so let's check. It's not showing up yet. And it's still not showing up. I'll just check on my phone. It's fine. Alright, testing. Alright, yeah, it seems to be fine. Alright, yeah, seems to be fine. I know it's a pretty late stream, so it won't be too long today. We're actually just about to finish up the project here, and then we can start on the compiler project, which I still need some time to read about compilers more. Okay, but last time we implemented the forwarding engine, and the forwarding engine had both mem hazards and x hazards, as you see in here. So x hazard is if the value of the register value from the decode execute stage, the rs1 or rs2 value, was equal to the destination register, we'd have to forward it instead from the xmem, the recent result. And then the mem result, the mem hazard, pretty much similar. It's just if the instruction decode execute stage, the rs1 rs2 is equal to the mem write back stage, then we have to forward from mem write back. So that's pretty simple. And the exception for both is if the register was x0 or if there's a bubble there already, then it's not a problem. But now we have stalling, which is the only really use needed for a stall is if there's a load use hazard right here. So that means if our load board instruction or any load instruction needs a value of x2, right? So it needs this value in the memory stage, but it's using the value from the execute stage from the previous one. It's not exactly ready to be used. So that's what we don't want happening. So we need to actually implement a stall for one cycle. So that's what we need to do. So we need to freeze the program counter and the register that we're taking it from, the next register after, for one cycle, so we can stall the pipeline, and then we insert a bubble there into the X stage. So we're setting both these registers exactly to 0 and freezing this PC right here, and also after the stall we need to forward from mem write back so we can actually give the correct value. So we need to implement that today. Shouldn't actually be too bad. It's pretty similar. It's pretty similar to what we already did. So let me just read this. So, okay. So we actually need to implement the stalling engine within the instruction decode stage. So it wouldn't be in the execute stage, it would be before that we need to do. Because we need to actually freeze the program counter starting from we're freezing the program counter, and then we're also putting both of these registers, the instruction fetch, instruction decode, and also the instruction decode execute. So we need to start it from here. We need to start setting that from 0. So we need to actually set the value as that in here. So okay. So it's going to be in here. We need to know if it's a load instruction first, because this is only applicable to load instructions. So I guess we can implement a variable. Oh, actually, we can just do it in here, I believe. Let's just say like so we're taking this instruction. It has to be after this instruction, so it needs to be after here but before here, so we actually have the instruction to go off of. Let me go back here for a second just to think a little bit more about this. So I guess we could call it like bool is load use, so we can just say like it's using the load instruction, and that value would be set to true if, so we're in this stage, right? So we're gonna need to have it be from this register, and if that type, so dot insert type is equal to the instruction for load, or sorry, instruction type, not instruction type load. Okay, and then instruction type FPL. Oh yeah, I need to be this. Okay, that's good. So now if either of this is true, it'll be true, and then it will be showing us that it can be a load. We can implement the stalling engine. Not the loading engine. So now we want to check. So this is kind of the same situation. We want to make sure there's not already a bubble there. So if in the register if there's not a bubble, and making sure our load use is true, and the register values, because if we remember, this only happens if we're trying to use the destination register x2, but we can't access it yet because it's being used here to actually make the instruction that we need properly. So if this inst.rd is equal to, it should be equal to the inst.rs1. Or wait, hold up. No, that's not the check yet we're making. Is there any other condition, or is that it? Am I forgetting a condition here? What did we do here? So we checked the bubble. Oh wait. Oh yeah. We checked the type. Okay. And then we checked here if the memory is a float. Right. We checked here if the destination register is not 0. We need to do the same thing here. Decode stage, yeah. So in here. So if our destination register is not equal to 0, then we can actually implement. Okay, what else? Okay, so if we're taking a value of x2, right, we need the value in, we're putting this value into x2 now. Let me take a look real quick. Okay. So this would either usually be, I mean, this can be anything. This can also be x5 too in here. So it could be like an rs1 value, rs2 value, and potentially rs3. I believe, yeah, you can use rs3 values. So we already have our helper functions. So I'm just gonna call it use this one. I don't know any other way to name it. And we want to see if it's using it. It's the type. Same exact situation for the other two, because those values that we actually need to put into are derived from any of these values. So it can be rs1, rs2, or rs3. Yeah, this can be any value that we need to put into. So we can set any amount rs2, and we can also have rs3 here. And then we need to actually do the checks to make sure. So if we're using either of these, well, okay, wait, hold on. It's not just if we're using it. This is where we need to check the... This is where we need to be a bit more specific. So if we're using rs1 and we're also... what here? So if our destination register value is equal to the rs1 value, we will need to implement here. So it'll be idx reg.x.rd. So if that value is equal to idx, wait, yeah, it should, yeah, idx reg.inst. Oops, just caps. It's the rs1. Or wait a minute, yeah, it should be right here. And the same case here, so now it will end here, the parentheses, and then we have the exact same situation, except it would just be rs2 instead. Okay, so if that's the case, if it's using that same value, it should be an extra one here. Yeah, there we go. Now it should be right. Let's do this properly. Okay, first we need to freeze the PC. So the way to do that, I guess we're just setting a bubble. So for the next value that we need, it's true. So now the bubble's set. And then all these values here, they don't need to be read, so we can just return. And that's probably literally it. I just have to check though, just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes here. Load use. Hazard. So implemented. Installing engine. Any mistakes? Let's see. Putting the wrong registers. Load destination matches current Earth1. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay. I had a feeling maybe I might have made a mistake somewhere there. So it's just gonna be this. We're not caring for the specific instruction. We're just caring in general. The next instruction. So if it's matching the current one, the previous one, I mean, not the next one, the previous one, because that's the before stage. Current one. Yeah. Need to stall the fetch stage too. Okay, I'll do that right now. How would I do that? Like saying if the load use. Okay. Yeah, there's no way to check right now, so we actually need to go back in here and implement. And actually implement something in our core here. So in our struct, we can say bool load use hazard. It was initially set that to false. And then in here, we need to initialize it. So where should I initialize? Well, I guess I don't need to initialize here. I do it in here. So right here we'd set that load use hazard. And we can set that to true now. But then if it passes this, then it'll be false. We'll set it back to false. Or wait, well, we'll return anyway, so if it doesn't pass that, we need to set it back to false here. So it's set to false, let's stop here, Okay, it's set back to false here. Now we need to implement it in here. Now it'll be easier to do that. Okay, yeah, here. At the top. So that's true. So what exactly do we need here? Okay, we're just freezing the register, so it's just gonna keep the same value as before. So the next iteration of that value, so this is for the fetch instruction decode register, and this would be for the I mean just the register in general. It will just be set to the same one, and then return early. I assume something like this. And I think that should be it. Let's just do a check. Okay, before that I'm probably just I'm gonna move all these helper functions up so they're not like in the middle of the whole thing. I'm gonna actually move them up above here. Now everything should be fine. Yeah, so it should now not get in the way of any of these instructions. Let's see what Cloud thinks. Good. 2 remaining bugs. There's still a bug here. Oh, I forgot to finish that bug. Totally forgot. Where is it? Inner decode. 3. Yeah, I forgot here. Okay, now all checks should be fine. Yeah, for the RD, it's this. I totally forgot. Okay, I think everything has changed now. Any other bugs? Yeah, I changed that bug. Also, load use hazard needs to be declared as a member of the core. Yeah, I did do that already. I did that already. Don't worry about that. Any other issue? When a stall occurs and fetch stage preserves the decode stage will try to decode the same instruction again next cycle. Cycle after stall resolves. So preserving the value and the decode, once we hit the decode stage, we'll try to decode that same instruction, but load use hazard gets set to true. So in our value here, load use hazard set to true, we immediately set it back to false. Did I not give him like the whole thing to show him? Okay, it's kind of buggy right now. Let me refresh the page. So I set the load use hazard to false right after the if statement. I'll just put that right after the if statement. So if the load use hazard is not detected, the load use hazard goes through, it should be false for any next instructions. Hey, what's up, Rancher for all? How you doing, bro? Good? Okay, so I did it right. Okay, this is good. Putting it here, that makes sense. Think about time it carefully, or maybe did I do it wrong? Wait, hold up. So cycle end, yeah. So we're detecting the hazard there. So we need to set the fetch stage as the previous one, so we need to stall it right there. bubble, and we set the bubble into the instruction decode execute register, setting a bubble there. And we're setting that load use hazard to true, so the fetch stage knows to install that value, right? Part of is not bubble. Maybe I'm missing something here. Wait. Load is now x reg. That's the bubble. This load use checks the type, but ID x reg is now a bubble, so the hazard condition is not triggered. Oh, okay, dude, Claude's bugging, bro. I don't know. Claude said, okay, Claude was just going through it. It's right. It's all right. Yeah. Okay, I'm not tripping. I'm not missing anything. Claude was just thinking on its own, and then okay, that makes sense. It's all right then. What's this? This is a CPU emulator right here. It's for the risc-v CPU architecture. This file right here, so this one decodes any bit strings that you send, and it will decode it into a risc-v assembly instruction. And this one actually uses those instructions and simulates memory, putting the values into the actual registers. So it's essentially just simulating a CPU. And we're pretty much almost done with the project. Okay, so we have the stalling engine now. Okay, so stalling engine is complete, so we've implemented both solutions here. And we do already have control hazards. We have control hazards already taken care of. Bit string to assembly to memory, CPU simulation, yeah, essentially, yeah. I think it's done. Yeah, I think that's done. I think we have a couple more things to do though. I was kind of researching earlier, like what exactly we need to actually finish off this project. Where exactly? So let me check here. Or no, it'll be in here. It'll be inside the execute stage. Yeah, for our eCall, this is okay, but we need to probably change it up a bit. Nice, I'm a full stack dev myself, but haven't explored low level or hardware level programming more on the web dev side. Yeah, that's nice. You can get into low level if you want to. I'd say it's not for everyone, like maybe some people won't be interested. For me personally, I'm not interested in like the web dev stuff, so I kind of just like, I tried it, but then I went over here and I like this side much better. Okay, start your repo. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so the way we're actually doing the eCall should be implemented in a bit of a better way, if I should say. Okay, so right now we have, how is it implemented in the decoder? Just the name, right? Just the name. Yeah, just the separate names, and interpreter it's set as essentially just halted equals true, return. So this is what happens when we do the actual syscall right here. So we're actually putting the command number into the register A7, which should be A7 should be register X17. So let's see if we can kind of change this up here for eCall. Let's see. Let me just think about it for a second more. there's a couple ways. So we're just doing the halt. We're just doing the halt right now. The halt should be, I believe it was 93. Yeah, this is just halt, so we're just terminating itself. Then one, we're printing the integer, so we need to actually like separate it now for two. So let's just say like an outside integer value, let's say the command, and we need to grab the value, we need to set the value of register x17, so I believe that would be reading the register, so reading the register of 17. So let's go back down here. So we need to read reg and set that to 17. And then that should set that value like that. And now that will work for all of these values. So now we can set anything we want here, but the only two we really need is 1 and 93, so we need to check now. So if command is equal to 1, we can just say like since it's going to be a regular signed integer, so I'm messing up here. Signed integer it means to read a certain value. A0, right? So A0 will just be x10. So we need to read the register though. 10. So now that'll be fine. I forgot to do this. Dude, I should have typing right now. Okay, yeah. Else if I looked into a bit, these are the only two that I was really informed of using. 1 and 93. I don't really know about all these other ones. That might be a much more difficult implementation or a much more nuanced implementation. I just don't know. But for ours, we just need to use these. So if command is 93, I guess yeah. Halted. That's when we need to halt. Let me just go check it again real quick. That's when we're terminating the value, so we're just halting. Hey, I have some suggestion. What's your suggestion? I'll take any suggestions. Always looking to improve it if I can. Yeah, and then this is fine on its own now. We don't need this anymore. Add architecture diagrams, add a project structure section. Like you mean in the GitHub itself, or what do you mean? Like should I add some pictures of it or something? In the repo, in like the MD file, I guess you're saying, right? Yeah, I need to clean up the MD. I was kind of just going with it as we go. But yeah, that's a good recommendation. I'll definitely do that. Especially since we're connecting this to the compiler project that I'm about to do. That one's gonna be much harder. I know I'm gonna struggle with that a lot. This one made me struggle a bit, I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, low-key pipelining, this whole pipelining thing was a long process. Pipelining took a long time, and I had to read up a lot on it. but we ended up doing it. Oh, okay. Okay. It'll help keep track of the flow and the working. Yeah, definitely. I need to do that for sure. Especially if I'm putting this project for my resume, I'm gonna need to do that to make it more structured. I'm gonna tell Claude. Okay, I think we're done here. I am gonna tell Claude that I made this little change here. Now you've made me curious about system programming, and I might just pick it up. It's pretty interesting stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff in system programming. I personally find it way more fulfilling than any other thing, to be honest. That's what I changed it in. Claude, that's what I changed it in. I think Claude is operating on old knowledge. I think Claude's memory is getting a bit bad here. Maybe I should open up a new chat or something. Oh yeah, let's just do a quick check though. With the program properly. Make sure the registers are going properly. Yeah, that's the right input. Yeah, at this point, all of web dev is the same to me and was looking for something new, and this pop up on a feed. Nice, man. That's definitely a nice thing that my stream popped up on your algorithm. Just tell Claude to reset local memory or context. Can you do that? I didn't know you could do that, to be honest. But Loki, this chat's getting long. I might lose the privilege to talk in here after a while. Yeah, the reason I switched to the systems is because I did a kind of like a web dev project. It's more like a back-end project, to be honest. It was a back-end project in Python, but I was mostly vibe coding, and it just didn't really give me didn't fulfill me at all. So I thought maybe I'd head to a side where I can actually think more. Okay, yes, it does work. What exactly are you planning? Yeah, I do have a little bit of something. I was talking with Gemini to see where I could potentially move towards. Oh yeah, stack pointer initialization. I'll do that in a second. These are the plans for the future. I will do the stack pointer right now and get back to you. Alright, let's let him do that. I need to do the stack pointer. Let's let him generate something there. Let me do the stack pointer part of it. Okay, ask him to start fresh and ask him to redevelop context. Oh, you can literally just tell him to do that itself. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like I might just start a fresh new chat because I'm going on to a new project now. It's related in a way. I'm gonna be using this project to also help that other project out, the compiler project. But I'll probably just start new. I'll probably just give him my GitHub code for everything I've done here, and then probably go on from there. Because this chat is probably gonna be done soon, to be honest. I've chatted in it a lot. Okay, I believe, okay, so we did the vector memory for here. That's memory. We need registers though. as a stack pointer, which is in here. Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, that's what I did for my one project. Okay, I do sometimes hate that Claude gives me code. Like, I guess now I know that it's that. I was gonna do that, something like that anyways, but yeah. Okay, it's just one line, it's not a problem. If Claude gives it to me. For registers in general, we use dynamic, no, we used, yeah, we can just say the size itself. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to put it before, yeah, before the pipeline loop, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be before. It's gonna be before here. Yo, what's up, guys and frames? My video was in the recommendation. That's nice, that's nice. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, I think I'm gonna ask him to make a plug. So he said to make him a comprehensive MD. Okay, so make me a comprehensive MD file. Well, I guess I should give him the GitHub code, right? Probably. I'm not so well versed in Claude, not gonna lie. Should I give him like the GitHub link or something, and then if you're still here, Ranter, should I give him like the GitHub link? Well, let me first. Okay, let me first. I believe it's before this. Maybe I'm wrong. Wait, so. Or maybe it's inside here. Because it's gonna be. No, it shouldn't be. I believe, yeah, this. Like this, I believe. I could be wrong, though. Before the loop, yeah, it's before the loop, that makes sense. Yes, I did that intentionally earlier because there are some bugs, so yeah. Don't worry about it, Claude, I got that. It doesn't need, okay. Make me a comprehensive MD file of everything that we have done. I guess this is a good enough prompt for that. Yeah, I'm just gonna... And then we're gonna move that over. But yeah, this project is complete. This is actually a long project. I guess, like, this is stream 22, right? So overall, it'd be like... Most streams are like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So it's like 40, like 30, upper 30s to maybe lower 40 hours, maybe. And there's a lot of refactoring and debugging. And I assume this is not going to be the end of it. There's probably some bugs lurking in here somewhere. So when I write my compiler project, I might need to like check back here if I run into any errors with that, because I'm connecting the compiler project to this. I need to learn CMake though, not gonna lie. I need to make CMake. I need to learn CMake to actually make the project. Okay, it's writing that. Writing that currently. It's going over everything. Wow. Okay. Yes, the project still works. I'll probably like get some, maybe write some like file or something to actually like make assembly instructions for me. So I don't have to like manually write these assembly instructions to test them out. There's probably some tool for that. But yeah, it's pretty much like a script. So yeah, done with this chapter. I've basically been writing this project while reading the book, so it's been like a lot of trial and error trying to get all of this going. I have one more chapter in computer architecture. I think it's chapter 5. I need to read this chapter, memory hierarchy. I need to read the book and also go over this as like a summary for cache. And then I can move on to a different book, which will be the compiler's book. And then I can move on to that project. Hopefully I can start that project soon. Not bad, not bad. It looks pretty good here. Looks pretty detailed. I didn't even know if it could do this like this well. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because it made this is made by Claude, these files for me. Like I just used the book and then made these files. Are you in college or employed? I'm a second year in college. Moving on to my third year after this summer. Just trying to get a head start on all this stuff. I still have like a long way to go, not gonna lie. This is just a starting. You're graduated and currently working? That's nice, man. That's great that you got a job. Does it make me feel inferior? Nah, bro, I just started like a couple months ago. All it takes is like 2-3 months, and yeah. I started this project like while I was reading chapter 2 of the book, so I had like little to no understanding. I didn't know where it was going or what it was gonna do. But it ended up coming to this as I went on. At first I needed a bit of Claude assistance. Towards the end I was leaning more towards my own knowledge, but yeah, you can get here like easily. I mean, you have a job and I don't, so that's like that's a good part. That's a good part right there. Especially since a lot of people are struggling to get jobs. Yeah. So I gotta read this 19 pages and then the book as well. I joined web dev as it gives instant gratification of making something. That's true. That's true, yeah. A lot of instant gratification, I'm not gonna lie. Because like I would just put like the whole thing in Claude and then it would just generate me everything. And I'd read over it and pretend like I was like understanding it. And I did to a decent amount, but it's just like I wouldn't be able to produce that myself. So it's like I knew there's something wrong with this, that if I was to continue doing this, I wouldn't really be good. I'd kind of be following the same path that everyone else is doing. The job's not the best, but it pays your bills. Yeah, that's all you really need. Okay, yeah, not that, I'm gonna download this file, right? So I guess making a new chat, I guess, right? I mean, even now, like, I'm really confused on where this is gonna go with the compiler. Like, I don't know. I really don't know how the compiler's gonna work. If I'm even gonna be good at writing it, because this is one thing, but a compiler's like a whole different project. It's like a whole different skill set I need. So, but yeah, after the compiler project, I'm hoping to maybe be good enough. That'll be the end of, hopefully I can finish the compiler project like maybe by the end of this year, December. That's probably pretty naive to think that, but yeah, December or maybe even longer. By the time next internships like open up. If I still can't get anything, then everything's cooked. Everything's cooked at that point. If I can't get anything even with like this in the compiler. Yeah, let me add that file though. I'm pretty sure I can read these files properly, so. Man, I don't even know what to say because, like, I guess I need to have a deep conversation with. Maybe I'll hold off for now. I need to have like a deep conversation with Claude or like Gemini or something to actually figure out where I need to go. That's good. $4K in rupees per year is all I could get as a fresher. Is that good? I don't know like where you live or like your situation. I know like in other places it's gonna be different, like cost of living and all that. So if that's good for you, then I'm glad about that. India, okay. I'm not actually sure how the cost of living is there, to be honest. I am Indian as well, but I was born here and raised here, so I don't understand much about the actual place there. Damn, I'm kind of confused on what to do right now. I guess, hold up. Okay. Let's give this and let's kind of like talk it out with Claude here. Windows or Linux rules, since this is my own interface. What is the emulator? Just enough to live by. Yeah, wait, so are there systems level programming like jobs over there? I mean, I assume there will be. I assume those are also more rewarded. Try coding a GUI for this as a side work, and that could be incorporated with other projects in the future. Oh, GUI. Yeah, actually, that would be nice. I guess I would use, like, maybe Streamlit or something. That's the only, like, UI thing I know. I know, like in quotations, I know, like, JavaScript a little bit. Not enough to make a GUI on my own. I'd probably be vibe coding that GUI. But they require experienced people and no one wants to give a fresher a chance. That's what I'm kind of worried about here. Like, I may have, like, the skill set and also, like, the showcase of the projects, but they may not even look at it since they see it's a second year, third year, whatever. But hopefully that's not the case, and I can actually get something. Because those roles are pretty... Not many people do them, because it's really difficult, and it takes a lot of time, like compared to doing like a web interface or something, like a web framework. These take more time, and you need to think a lot more. And if you vibe code, like... If you try to like vibe code this from scratch, you'll probably not get too far. It'll make a lot of mistakes. You need to actually understand what you're doing to actually know. Because I'm not gonna lie, Claude, when I was like for this project, I talked with Claude a lot, like just to like get an idea of things, but it got things wrong a lot, and I had to correct it. So once it gets down to this level, it's like, yeah, Claude can be wrong a lot, so you gotta be careful. I predict it will be the same for the next 3-4 years as the management level doesn't understand these things and not good with vibe coding. Yeah, management, like HR and all that, like there's a big problem with the screening and everything that has to do with that process. Most of the people who are in like HR and approving all these resumes, I mean, first it goes through ATS screening, like AI, I'm pretty sure, and then a person manually does it. And a lot of people are lying on their resumes and stuff. And the person in HR who's approving all of them doesn't know what all these technical terms are. So they're not going to really know anything. They're going to be rejecting good people, and they're going to be taking the people who over exaggerate and lie on their resume. It's like, it's terrible. I'm just ranting my frustration. Yeah, I understand you. It's gonna be tough. I assume once I start actually trying to apply, I'll be pretty frustrated. But the problem with most like vibe coded apps is the security of it is terrible. And also most of them are just really bad because no one knows how to check it. It may look like it's a good implementation, but once you actually use it, you can find so many bugs in vibe coded projects. Oh yeah, I think this is a good prompt. Oh yeah, let's push this actually. Let me save all these files. Yeah, same in web dev. There are so many vulnerabilities that it's concerning when anyone vibe codes. Yeah, it's just terrible. Especially like if you're handling like your databases, especially like doing vibe coding and all that. It can be fine, but for the most part, it's not going to be. Because no one knows how to actually validate and check that code that it's writing, unless you're actually decent enough. So that's why it's kind of a problem, not gonna lie. And a lot of people who want to start learning think they need to go down that vibe coded path. And we actually really don't know how it's gonna end up, but I'm just betting on this stuff. The low level stuff, I'm taking a bet and saying that this will be the best option for me down the road. And I hope that's the case. If it's not, then it might be a problem, might not be a problem, we'll see. Only time will tell. Advise the method, just keep them infighting. What do you mean by that? Like keep all the people in the job like infighting, like all the management and stuff? Oh no, you mean like AI? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I also do, kinda. I used to do that, like with one of my old like Python projects that was vibe coded, but for some reason they kept like countering each other in some places. So I ended up just getting like kind of confused in the end because I didn't understand much. Emulator is generally compiler ready. I hope that's not a lie. I think it's compiler ready, hopefully. From what I know, I think it is, but we have to see. Custom equal API and the initialize type pointer. You already made the right choices. Let me highlight the key decisions I need to make. What language? I was thinking of doing a subset of C++, or maybe C subset as well. Yeah, I'm not targeting Linux. I'm just targeting my own thing, I guess. Anything. And nowadays, the IT sector is less about building solutions, more incorporating AI and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like mandated amounts of AI use you need per week. Not per week, maybe like per month or something that you need in most companies. Especially like big tech. I think you need like, in Amazon you need like 80% every week or every month or something like that. and you need to use this amount of tokens or something. It's kind of bad. People get laid off for not using AI. Yeah. And that's a problem because when the AI actually makes a mistake, it's the person that's held responsible. And we'll get a lot of layoffs. I've been hearing about that a lot. It's just a shit show right now, to be honest. Oh, I do need to think about this. Recall our state, but it's call save. Register allocation strategy. Some approach. Everything spills to the stack. Slow but correct and easy to implement first. Yeah, I might do that. I'm not trying to go for the hardest implementation at first. And yeah, I'm gonna write it in C++. I guess I just need to read about compilers. I don't know much about them. I just know there's like, all I really know right now is there's a front end, middle end, back end. I know the front end does like lexical analysis. The middle end does like intermediate code representation, stuff like that. I just don't know in general what I need to do until I actually read that book. Maybe then I'll get a more better picture. I was so desperate that I almost switched fields, but somehow I got the job, and so now I'm slaving away. How long did it take you to get one? Like a lot. I'm guessing like a lot of applications. I guess I could use this time to go over stuff. A lot of functions here to get the bits properly in place. The huge switch statement here. Identifying opcodes and actual values to put in to decode the instruction. And the interpreter itself. Damn, I kind of don't know what to do for streams now because I know I've been streaming this a lot, but now that this project is over, I'm probably not gonna start the compiler project immediately. I'll be completely confused if I start immediately, so I don't know what to do. I do have like my little like Pomodoro studying, but I'm not really talking with anyone there actually actively coding. I'm just like passively studying. So I have my Pomodoro streams and I have these streams. These streams are going to be done for a bit because I need to read on compilers. Unless I just say like... Unless I just go for it and just start coding the compiler without knowing anything. I probably wouldn't get far with that though, to be honest. Maybe I'll read a couple chapters of the book first. For a couple days and then maybe start. What's it called? Like, do I have it here? That book? I don't think I have that book on here. Let's take a look. I remember the book was on here. Yeah, crafting interpreters. Do I have it? Oh, I do have it. Yeah, this book, yeah. I need to read this book to actually get familiar on that. Yeah. This project's done. 5 stars, I'll take that. 5 stars. Again, hopefully that goes up soon to get more people looking at this. And yeah, I need to like revamp this. I just did Visual Studio, like just random. I need to learn CMake to actually manage the files properly. I need to learn CMake. Yeah, I need to touch up the MD file too. I'll probably do that off stream because I need to look into it some more. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this translates a lot towards compilers. Okay, so what should I do? Okay, so I should probably read this book. I don't know if like any of these are good. I mean, they're probably good, but like I don't know if I should spend my time on them. Let's take a look actually. How are these structured? Can't believe they just give all this like away. Like, is it like a fully... Not like that. Like, I'm assuming like... Let's look at this. Like, is there like a full like PDF of everything? Damn, bro, it's like... They like go over everything. For free too, that's crazy. That's crazy to get out for free. Tell me how it is for the compiler? Yeah, I will. I'll be back streaming once I have a good grasp on one part. All I need is to know one part of it, and then I can go. I mean, that's what I did with this project. I started with the first chapter. After the first or maybe second chapter, I started writing immediately, and then learned as I went. It's giving me a migraine, like the whole, like... This one is giving me a migraine? Or like the PDF? I'm probably not gonna go through all of this. This is like a, in general, of the system programming roadmap. So like, it depends on what you do. So if they're saying, if you're doing compilers, then you need to learn that. Just learn anything in here. I'm assuming you don't need all of it. That would be probably overkill. I'll probably do 1 or 2 of these maybe. If you're doing like some exploitations, there's probably like some cybersecurity stuff. You need some stuff of this, browser hacking, malware, VM internals. Yeah, I'm not doing all that, so I'm just gonna focus on this. So I'll probably read this book. Let's check this. How is it? What does it have? Like the notes, okay. Oh, so much math, okay. I guess, yeah, it's going into math a lot. Oh my god. Holy. Okay. I'm probably gonna struggle a lot more on this compiler stuff. Like, I've seen people have streams with like compiler day 200 or something, so I assume it's not gonna be that easy. But yeah. I mean, yeah, it's 1 AM. I probably should head out. Love to stay here and keep talking, but I really don't have much to do right now other than reviewing stuff. But yeah, probably gonna head out. This is a pretty enjoyable stream, and finally finished the project, so yeah.